What if one man could change the way the world communicates, learns, and dreams? This is the story of Steve Jobs, the visionary who transformed technology and redefined what was possible. From a garage in Silicon Valley to the heights of global innovation, Jobs' journey is a testament to the power of passion and vision. In this story, you will discover how Steve Jobs built Apple, revolutionized the tech industry, and left a legacy that continues to shape our world today. Get ready to explore the life of a man who taught us all to think different. Have you ever wondered how a college dropout could go on to change the world? This is the story of Steve Jobs, the man who transformed technology and redefined what was possible. Steve Jobs was born on February 24, 1955, in San Francisco, California. He was adopted by Paul and Clara Jobs, who raised him in a quiet neighborhood in Silicon Valley. From a young age, Steve showed an interest in electronics. His father, Paul, was a machinist, and together they would work on electronics in the family garage. Paul taught Steve how to take things apart and put them back together. These moments sparked his love for engineering and technology. In school, Steve was known for his curiosity and intelligence. He was often bored with regular classes, but thrived when learning about electronics and machines. His passion for technology continued to grow as he met Steve Wozniak, a fellow tech enthusiast. The two became close friends, bonding over their shared interest in computers and electronics. Wozniak was a genius with circuits, and Steve saw the potential to turn his friend's ideas into products. This partnership would soon change the world. After high school, Steve enrolled at Reed College in Oregon. But college life was not what he expected. He found the classes uninteresting and expensive. After just one semester, he decided to drop out. But even after dropping out, Steve continued to attend classes that fascinated him. One of those classes was calligraphy, which would later inspire the design of Apple's products. Jobs believed that learning should not be limited to traditional paths. He followed his curiosity, even when it didn't seem practical. In 1974, Steve returned to California and began attending meetings at the Homebrew Computer Club. This group was filled with computer enthusiasts who dreamed of building their own machines. It was there that Steve reconnected with Steve Wozniak. Wozniak had been working on a personal computer, a simple machine with a keyboard and a screen. Jobs saw the potential in Wozniak's invention. He believed that computers could be more than just machines for hobbyists. He imagined a world where every person could own a personal computer. With that vision, Jobs convinced Wozniak to start a company. In 1976, they founded Apple Computer in the garage of Jobs' parents' house. Their first product was the Apple I, a single-board computer designed by Wozniak. Jobs handled the business side, while Wozniak focused on engineering. Together, they created a product that would revolutionize computing. The Apple I was sold as a kit, and users had to build it themselves. Despite its simplicity, it sparked interest in the tech community. Encouraged by their success, Jobs and Wozniak began working on their next project, the Apple II. This computer was more advanced, with color graphics and a built-in keyboard. When the Apple II was released in 1977, it changed everything. It was the first personal computer that was easy to use and affordable. The Apple II became a massive success, making Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak millionaires. It was the beginning of Apple's rise to greatness. Jobs' vision for personal computing had become a reality. His belief that technology should be accessible to everyone set Apple apart from its competitors. The company grew quickly, and by the early 1980s, Apple was a leader in the tech industry. Steve Jobs was known for his passion, his vision, and his ability to inspire those around him. But his journey was just beginning. The world was about to witness even greater innovations from the mind of Steve Jobs. The success of the Apple II made Steve Jobs a rising star in the world of technology. He was ambitious, driven, and full of ideas that would shape the future of computing. But Steve was not content with just one successful product. He wanted to change the way people interacted with technology. He believed that computers should be simple, elegant, and easy to use. In 1983, Jobs set his sights on a new project, the Macintosh. His vision was to create a computer that anyone could use, not just tech experts. It would have a graphical user interface, a mouse, and icons that represented programs and files. This idea was revolutionary. At the time, most computers required users to type commands into a black screen. Jobs wanted to replace that with something visual and intuitive. The development of the Macintosh was not easy. Jobs pushed his team hard, demanding perfection in every detail. He wanted the computer to be beautiful inside and out. Engineers worked day and night, building prototypes, testing ideas, and refining the design. Jobs was known for his intense focus and high standards. He believed that even parts of the computer that people would never see should be well designed. His obsession with perfection sometimes caused tension, but it also drove innovation. Finally, in 1984, the Macintosh was ready. Jobs introduced it to the world in a dramatic presentation that would become legendary. He walked onto a dark stage, spoke about technology, and then unveiled the Macintosh. It spoke, introducing itself to the audience in a robotic voice. The crowd erupted in applause. The Macintosh was like nothing anyone had seen before. It was friendly, easy to use, and beautifully designed. Jobs had done it. He had changed the way people thought about computers. The Macintosh became a cultural icon, representing creativity and innovation. But success did not last forever. Despite the excitement around the Macintosh, sales began to slow. Competition from Microsoft and IBM made it difficult for Apple to maintain its lead. Jobs' demanding leadership style also caused conflicts within the company. Tensions grew between him and other executives. In 1985, the conflict reached its peak. Jobs was forced out of the company he had helped create. He was devastated, but his journey was far from over. Jobs did not give up. He moved on to start a new company called NeXT. His goal was to build powerful computers for business and education. At NeXT, Jobs continued to innovate. He pushed for better technology, more powerful machines, and beautiful design. Even though NeXT did not achieve massive commercial success, its technology was groundbreaking. It would later play a key role in the development of the Internet and modern computing. Jobs' vision for simplicity and elegance in technology continued to grow. His journey at NeXT was just the beginning of his comeback. What seemed like a failure was actually a new beginning. Steve Jobs was about to return to Apple and change the world once again. Steve Jobs' journey took an unexpected turn after his departure from Apple. Many thought his story was over, but Jobs had bigger plans. In 1985, he founded NeXT, a company focused on building high-performance computers for business and education. Jobs poured his passion and vision into NeXT. He wanted to create machines that were not only powerful but also beautifully designed. NeXT computers were technologically advanced, with features that were far ahead of their time. The sleek black design and powerful software made NeXT computers stand out, but their high cost limited their success. Despite the struggles, Jobs never gave up. He believed in the technology and continued to push for innovation. One of NeXT's greatest contributions was its software. The NeXT Step operating system introduced concepts that would later become standard in modern computing. Features like object-oriented programming and graphical user interfaces were pioneered by NeXT. Meanwhile, Jobs was also investing in a small animation company called Pixar. He purchased the company from George Lucas in 1986 for $10 million. At first, Pixar focused on creating hardware for animation studios, but Jobs saw something more. He believed that Pixar could create full-length animated films. His investment and belief in technology pushed Pixar forward. In 1995, Pixar released Toy Story, the first fully computer-animated film in history. It was a massive success, both critically and financially. Toy Story changed the animation industry forever and marked the beginning of Pixar's dominance in the field. Under Jobs' guidance, Pixar released hit after hit, including Finding Nemo, The Incredibles, and Monsters, Inc. Pixar became a leader in animation, and Jobs' vision for technology and storytelling became a reality. While Pixar was thriving, NeXT continued to innovate in the background. Its software caught the attention of technology experts, including those at Apple. In 1996, Apple made a bold decision. They bought NeXT for $429 million, bringing Steve Jobs back to the company he had co-founded. The technology developed at NeXT became the foundation for Apple's future products, including the Mac OS X operating system. Jobs' return to Apple marked the beginning of a new era. He was back in charge, ready to lead Apple into the future. His experience at NeXT and Pixar had given him a new perspective, one that would change the company forever. Steve Jobs was back where he belonged, and the world was about to witness the greatest comeback in technology history. When Steve Jobs returned to Apple in 1997, the company was struggling. Its products were outdated, its finances were unstable, and its future seemed uncertain. Jobs knew that drastic changes were needed to bring Apple back to life. One of his first moves was to streamline the product line. He cut down on unnecessary products and focused on just a few key projects. He wanted Apple to be known for simplicity, elegance, and cutting-edge technology. Jobs also made bold decisions to redesign Apple's image. He introduced a new marketing campaign with the slogan, "Think Different." The campaign was a celebration of visionaries, inventors, and dreamers, reflecting Jobs' own philosophy. In 1998, Apple released the iMac, a product that would change everything. The iMac was unlike any other computer. Its sleek, colorful design made it stand out, and its simplicity made it easy to use. The iMac was a massive success. It brought Apple back into the spotlight and re-established the company as an innovator in the tech world. Jobs' vision of combining beautiful design with powerful technology was paying off. But Steve Jobs was not finished. He had even bigger ideas. He wanted to make technology more personal, more integrated into people's lives. In 2001, Apple introduced the iPod, a small music player that could hold thousands of songs. It was sleek, portable, and easy to use. The iPod changed the way people listened to music and became a global sensation. The success of the iPod led to the creation of iTunes, a digital platform that allowed people to buy and organize their music. Apple was transforming the music industry, just as it had done with personal computers. Jobs' vision for Apple continued to grow. He wanted to revolutionize not just music, but communication. In 2007, Apple unveiled the iPhone, a device that combined a phone, an iPod, and an internet communicator into one. The iPhone was a breakthrough. Its touchscreen, sleek design, and powerful features made it unlike anything on the market. It redefined what a smartphone could be. The world was captivated. People lined up outside stores for hours just to get their hands on one. The iPhone's success was massive, making Apple one of the most valuable companies in the world. But Jobs did not stop there. He continued to push innovation, leading to the creation of the iPad in 2010. The iPad reimagined what a tablet could be, blending the power of a computer with the simplicity of a touchscreen. Under Jobs' leadership, Apple became a leader in technology, known for its beautiful designs and user-friendly products. His vision had transformed Apple from a struggling company into a global powerhouse. Jobs' ability to see the future, his insistence on perfection, and his focus on design and usability changed the way people interacted with technology. His work reshaped industries, inspired innovation, and set new standards for the tech world. But his journey was not over. Steve Jobs still had more to share with the world, and his vision would continue to change lives around the globe. Steve Jobs' vision for Apple had transformed the company into one of the most powerful brands in the world. The success of the iPhone, iPod, and iPad marked a new era of technology and set Apple apart as a leader in innovation. But Jobs' journey was not just about products. It was about changing the way people lived. He believed that technology should be simple, beautiful, and easy to use. Under his leadership, Apple stores were introduced. These stores were designed to be more than just shops. They were experiences. Customers could try out products, get help from experts, and learn more about technology in a welcoming environment. The first Apple store opened in 2001, and it was an instant success. People lined up to experience the sleek design and hands-on approach. It was a new way of thinking about retail. Jobs' vision for Apple was clear. He wanted to control every part of the experience, from the software to the hardware to the place where people bought the products. This focus on design and quality made Apple products stand out. But it wasn't just about technology. Jobs also pushed for innovations in design and packaging. He wanted every detail to be perfect. From the smooth edges of the iPhone to the simple elegance of its packaging, everything had to reflect Apple's commitment to excellence. Jobs' leadership style was demanding. He expected the best from his team and pushed them to think differently. His drive for perfection sometimes led to conflict, but it also led to breakthroughs. People who worked with Jobs often described him as intense and focused. He had a clear vision of what he wanted, and he did not settle for less. Despite his demanding nature, Jobs inspired loyalty. People believed in his vision and wanted to be part of something bigger. His passion for technology and his belief in innovation drove Apple to continue creating groundbreaking products. The launch of the App Store in 2008 opened a new world of possibilities. Developers could create apps that would change the way people used their devices. The App Store was a game changer. It allowed people to customize their phones, explore new games, and use software that made life easier. Jobs' influence continued to grow as Apple expanded its product line. He introduced new versions of the iPhone, iPad, and MacBook, each with new features and better designs. Apple was no longer just a tech company, it was a cultural phenomenon. Its products became symbols of style and innovation, setting trends across the world. Jobs' focus on simplicity and design made Apple products accessible to everyone, from tech enthusiasts to everyday users. His ability to see the future, his commitment to excellence, and his willingness to take risks transformed Apple into the most valuable company in the world. But behind the success, Jobs was facing personal challenges. His health began to decline, and he was forced to step back from his role as CEO. In 2011, Jobs resigned as Apple's CEO, passing the leadership to Tim Cook. Although he stepped down, his influence remained strong. Steve Jobs' journey was far from over, but the impact he had on technology and the world was already written in history. Steve Jobs' influence on technology and design reshaped the world. Even as he stepped down from his role as CEO of Apple, his vision continued to guide the company. His health was declining, but his passion for innovation remained strong. In 2011, just months after stepping down, Steve Jobs passed away. The world mourned the loss of a true visionary. People gathered outside Apple stores, leaving flowers, notes, and candles to honor his memory. Jobs' legacy was not just in the products he created, but in the way he inspired people to think differently. His belief that technology should be simple, beautiful, and powerful changed the way people interacted with devices. Under his leadership, Apple introduced products that became part of everyday life. The iPhone, iPad, iPod, and MacBook were more than just gadgets. They were symbols of innovation and creativity. Jobs' influence went beyond technology. His leadership style, his attention to detail, and his relentless pursuit of perfection inspired entrepreneurs and creators around the world. He believed that technology should not just work, it should inspire. His passion for design and simplicity became the foundation of Apple's success. After his death, Tim Cook took over as Apple's CEO. Cook promised to carry on Jobs' vision, keeping Apple at the forefront of innovation. Under Cook's leadership, Apple continued to thrive. New products like the Apple Watch and AirPods became instant successes, proving that Jobs' influence still shaped the company's future. Jobs left behind a legacy of creativity, innovation, and a belief that technology can change the world. His story became an inspiration for dreamers, inventors, and entrepreneurs everywhere. Books, documentaries, and movies were made to tell his story. His life became a symbol of what is possible when passion meets vision. Apple continued to honor his legacy, creating products that reflected his ideals of simplicity and elegance. His influence could be seen in every new device and every new innovation. Even years after his passing, Jobs' impact remains strong. His story is a reminder that one person, with enough vision and determination, can change the world. Steve Jobs' journey was more than just the creation of a company. It was the creation of a new way of thinking. His legacy lives on in every Apple product, in every entrepreneur who dares to think differently, and in every person inspired by his story. Steve Jobs' legacy lives on through every iPhone, every MacBook, and every innovation that carries the spirit of simplicity and elegance. His vision reshaped industries, changed the way we communicate, and inspired a generation of creators and dreamers. His journey reminds us that even the biggest ideas can start small, that failure is just a stepping stone to success, and that one person can indeed change the world. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the story of Steve Jobs. May his story inspire you to dream bigger, push boundaries, and always think different.